Shut up and sit down.
Oh, and there you go. Did it on time, Geese. There you go. See,
Good girl.
I told you there was only 30 seconds, didn't I? And it was like, yeah. There you go. Anyway, hello, folks. Hope you're all right. Let's just move my microphone around.
Hello, 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 hello.
Because I've been filming. I knocked my microphone back when I put all my stuff back. Yes, folks, hello and welcome to a Friday Frolic. Yes, folks, it is us two idiots yet again, sitting here in front of your monitors. You're all looking at your screen going, oh, no, it's them two pillocks again. I know what you're thinking. But yes, we are here for your delectation, folks. So hello, I'm Colin, Festa 67's workshop, clues in the name. And then we got the GNU, Fox, model making guru himself. Well, old name there, but you know what I mean. And welcome. He's got them bloody horses on his bench, and I've just spotted that, the rotten bleeder.
Horsey mans.
Don't forget, if you want to keep the channel alive, folks, you can head over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop or click the join button below, become a YouTube member. That gives you access to the Zoom 24/7 hangout where you can come and chit and chat and meet like-minded people and all of that. Also, there's a dollar sign there where you can leave a super chat in YouTube. Just down the bottom of the chat window, the clue's in the dollar sign. That gets your name in a big old box of goodness. You get a bit of on-screen air guitar and everyone goes, what a wonderful people you are. Talking of the groovy gang, the people that matter, let's have a look at who's in the chat. There's the usual wall of affiliates for those that want clickable links in the chat. There they all are for you, folks. Fox says, good evening, Wiggles or Wiglets. Hope you're all fine and dandy. I'm saying hello above there. He did tell me what his name was. Where is it? Athena, is it?
I've forgotten already. Yes, Athena, I think it was.
Yeah, Athena's in, saying hello, evening all. Hope you're doing well. The name for this month is Athena. Coincidentally, it says it right in that one comment.
Yeah. Now, I've got a better chance of remembering this month because I can think Borderlands. So
absolutely, Bill's getting a bit of SpongeBob there because he's been a member for 8 months even. Hello, Bill, and thank you very gladly for your membership. The legend, the purveyor of the best beard in the world.
Beard.
Marcus is in, says good evening, Cole Fox, and all in chat. Hello, Marcus. How you doing? All in shot. What's shot?
Shot?
Yeah.
Shot.
Bill says, hope you, evening all you fine-looking gents and Fox. Happy days. How warm are we all as well? It's been a bit of a swelter this week.
I resemble that remark.
Everyone said hello to Bill. Max McGinn is in, says evening all. Hope you're doing okay this evening. Hello, Max. Love to you, Carol and Larry. Hope you're all doing all right. Athena says hello to Max. Jeff Light is in. He says hello, Colin, Fox, and all in Chatland. Hello, Jeff. How you doing, Jeff? Mate? Big thumbs up. Some big hugs for you and Maggie. Hope you're both doing all right. Everyone said hello to Jeff and Athena. The Bobbins is in, saying hello. Hello, Bobbins. How are you, buddy? He also says, let there be chassis.
Oh, that was in my ear.
Chassis.
There isn't any one of you that I don't hate right now.
Bill says it's currently 26 degrees in his living room, so be warned. He says there's a lack of clovage.
You.
There's an image I can't unsee now. PJ is in, saying, good frolicking morning, Colin, Fox, and everyone in chat. Hello, PJ. Hope you're all right. Hope you enjoyed your time in Scotland, mate, and it went all right, and you got out of it what you wanted to, mate. Lovely to see you in, mate. Bill says, no talking from Fox tonight because he's all horse.
I'm a little horse.
See what you did there. I'm not looking. Does this mean Fox has to be quiet for 6 months? There is that.
Can you imagine?
Athena's saying hello to PJ. So, talking of the guru, how are you, mate? And how is my mum?
Hello, you. Hello, everyone. I'm fine, thank you. I'm all right. Mama Wolf is fine and done. She had an early night tonight. She went to bed a while ago, so she's fast asleep, snoring and farting, probably.
Oh, is she? She's proper. Proper lay their tongue out mode, is it? Good girl.
Just making all kinds of funny noises.
Yeah.
But no, all good. Not been up to much here this week. It's been, as most people will know, it's been hot and sweaty anyway. So I've just been taking it easy. Yeah, today's a bit cooler. So I will be carrying on tonight with my Deathcore of Krieg Horsey-Mans. I've got to put all the Horsey-Mans on now, so...
Yeah, it's decision day now, isn't it, as to whether you've actually got all the bits in the right places, because...
If I've messed up the heads on if I've got the wrong heads on the wrong horses, this could go horribly wrong. It'd be a very expensive goof, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I wouldn't laugh, honest.
I would expect you to laugh heartily. I would be disappointed if you didn't.
Mockage may happen.
Yeah, because if you do it, then it means I can do it if you ever do this kind of mistake. So
yes, because
it gives me free reign, you see. So.
I will have a set that I'll be building at some point.
Yes, and how are you, my friend?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Been a busy week in Festa Towers. Part work week this week, so I've been doing all the filming of all of those. Well, 2 of them anyway. Batman and the Shelby GT. 12 issues of each have been filmed, and yeah.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot of work to do, and then it's filming it makes it 4 times as long, so it's very much a lot. It's a very lot of work.
Yeah, so that's what I've been up to, mate, but it's worthwhile, isn't it? You know, it's one of them, innit?
I got a thing from Fan Home saying, due to manufacturing delays, we don't need to discuss that any further. We all know what's going on. Your issues may be delayed till September.
Yeah.
And then the very next day I got, your package is on the way. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm being sent now then.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on with, how can we say? Yeah.
Yes. Well, apparently they ran out of some stuff and they've had to get them remanufactured, which probably isn't easy when it's not like the bits they're getting made aren't constantly being manufactured. It's like they probably didn't think they'd need to do it, so now they've had to start again. It's like... Yeah,
I had one where they've got to do a new production run because they didn't anticipate the interest, and it's like, yeah.
But it's fine. So I'm getting some bits, and then I'll just have to wait.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if the delay is like the 52 issues of just rail tracks, because I'm not going to use them anyway.
Yeah.
And they're not very good, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot on Batman, stealth electricity, and all of that. Yeah, so that's all going to be in the videos anyway that are coming up, so I won't spoil it. But... So yeah, quite a bit done actually, and yeah, the Shelby GT has been test fitted in its new home, and to say it is tight fit is
yeah.
It's
tight fit and many other dancing troops.
Yeah, the lion is sleeping tonight. I just said that out loud, didn't I?
You did, didn't you? You just said that out loud with words.
How many people have now got that earworm?
Yes, me included. I do hate you. You know that, don't you?
It's there, isn't it?
It's there.
It's where prevalent. I go in the jungle, that mighty jungle. Yeah.
Yeah. Although I have to be a little bit grateful because for the last couple of weeks I've had 2 or 3 tracks from Tangerine's Dream album Exit stuck in my head, and they really are like jammed in there and I can't get them out.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. I mean, it's good music, but dear God, I can't get it shifted. I'm trying to go to bed and I'm like, no. Oh, get out of my head.
For some reason, I woke up the other morning and my earworm from when I woke up until about midday was Spirit in the Sky by Doctor and the Bloody Medics. I don't know why. It was just there.
Luckily, I don't know it well enough. I know it, I just don't know it well enough to
I've got no idea. But it was there, and I'm like, why? Of all tunes, why that one?
And maybe it'd been on something on the telly box that you'd seen and not picked up on.
It might have been in the background or something. We have got a belly bench and beverage off of Bill. Question of the week, folks. See what I did there? Is mushroom soup and bread rolls. Bench, I've got the King George V back on the bench and some sticky deckage as occurred. Beverage, hot chocolate. Oh, nice one.
Hot chocolate.
PJ says, hey, Upper Feeder, I used to get my wall posters from your store back in the day. Can't remember that. I remember Athena's.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, I
Athena
love
posters.
that shop, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've still got, like, several posters in this house somewhere that Mum and Wolf probably bought in the 80s.
Lamborghini Countach and Tennis
Yeah,
Girl.
or the Testarossa.
Yeah.
Tennis Girl one.
They re-released a lot of them posters that you couldn't get anymore. Yeah, Athena. Damn.
Yeah, you remember? They used to walk in and, like, if you went to HMV, they'd have that thing with the flippy thing where you could flip between all the posters and a vertical thing. You remember that?
Yeah, there's a shop where most of the customers were our generation, weren't they?
Yeah.
Because,
God, just memories of doing things like going to the HMV store, which I'm sure probably doesn't even exist anymore.
I don't think it does, HMV now, mate.
No.
I think it's only online, isn't it?
I was going to say, yeah, if it is, I can't imagine it's...
Yeah, those Our Price records, Subway records. Yeah. Are record shops still a thing? Because I know vinyl's having a bit of a renaissance in it.
Yeah, little tiny independent vinyl shops are still around.
Yeah.
Because there's enough of a collector's thing for things like that.
Yeah.
There was one in the little town near me, which I nearly said out loud. And it was literally a tiny little shop bizarrely between a tiny hairdresser's and another shop.
Yeah.
And it was just like this little place that sold vinyl, and they did sell CDs as well.
Feeder says, they still got one in Nottingham. There you go. Mm-hmm. Because we used to have Our Price and HMV opposite each other in our town, and then both disappeared in a matter of months of each other. And
yeah. I mean, I've not been into Manchester for so many years. I've got no idea what's still in town and what isn't.
No, like I say, I've not been in the city for a long time.
The last time I went into Manchester was literally a week before Chocolate Velociraptor kicked off and we all got locked indoors.
Yeah.
And I just bought a nice pair of combat boots that I couldn't then use.
There is a warning I have to issue here today, folks.
Oh, yes.
For any viewers that are in the Warwickshire area, please note, I'm being taken out in public Sunday.
No.
And I will be in the vicinity of Warwickshire.
Oh, dear Lord.
So anyone of a nervous disposition,
Yeah, just run.
Yeah, the wife is taking me somewhere. I don't know where. She hasn't told me yet. But,
yeah, go into 10th Doctor Who mode. Run.
But, yeah. So, I'm being allowed out in public.
Is she bringing you back?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. But, yeah, instructions have already been issued not to be in a blurty out loud mood. And it's like, I wouldn't have known that if you hadn't have said. But there you go.
She never learns, does she?
No. So, yeah.
Yeah, she hasn't told you it's an outward bound thing. She takes you there, gives you a map and a compass and a pack of sandwiches and says, right, we'll see you back at home. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Orienteering.
But, orienteering, there's a word I haven't heard in years. I used to love doing that.
That was always a primary school kind of thing, because
yeah.
I never went on it, but my primary school, they did like a Lake District trip every year with the fourth years.
You used to get the Ordnance Survey map with a little rectangular compass with a magnifier and a bit of string, do you remember?
Yeah, I never figured out what the bit of string was for, but...
Yeah, it was for measuring distances, mate. And, even though you had a ruler on the side, you would wind the string around a windy road, then you would stretch it out, measure it with the ruler, and it gave you the distance.
Ah, that's clever.
There you go. So, I used to love a bit of that, but, yeah. Teeks is in, says Moonchild. Hello, Teek. How you doing, mate? Bill says the lady hottie scratching her bum. Yes, that was the one we all remember well.
Yeah, the tennis lady.
We had that with the white Lamborghini Countach, a red Testarossa, and Debbie Harry in the corner. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
PJ says belly, fish, cod, in brackets, chips and peas, garden, good man. Bench, Revell.Monogram, Airbus A380, big girl. Yes, it is, mate. I've got big old A380 hanging up there, mate. And beverage, he said, is extra strong tea. Good man. Has it got one of your, how can we say, 40% volume sugars in it, should we say? Bill says, who else has taken advantage of by Columbia House and received cassette tapes by the barrelful every month? Can't say I did, mate. I used to get the Britannia Music CDs sent to me back in the day. That might be the same place, I don't know. But it was basically one of these... We send you 3 CDs a month and you can choose to get them. And it started off with all the really good ones, you know. You're like, oh, yeah, this is mint. And then by month 3, when you had agreed to do your yearly subscription, you started getting the Flat and Scruggs and the Molly and her country and western troupe doing her thing. And you're like... Yeah, what?
Hits from the 60s that you don't quite remember.
Yeah. Why am I getting Chris Christopherson albums sent to me? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was clearing out some stuff the other day, and I came across like a billion CDs in paper slips that my long ex. They were always the kind of the ones that came free with the mirror and stuff.
Yeah,
and they were all drivel. They were all like, you know, chick flick type songs and power ballads and all that kind of drivel. And I was like, oh god, they're just getting burned. Hundreds of these really bad CDs.
TK's belly was Belgian meatballs. Bench still nothing. Bevy, Belgian monastery beer. Nice one. Who remembers getting the copies of Sounds, the newspaper, and used to get the square flexi disc on the front? Do you remember them?
Oh, I don't remember that, but I remember Flexi Day. I remember like you get like some kids magazines.
Yeah, it was like a sheet of acetate, wasn't it? But with the record carved in. Yeah, I should remember them. Used to put a load of 50 pences in the middle to stop it spinning on your turntable.
Yeah, to weigh it down.
They was proper stylus wreckers, weren't they, them things? But
Who remembers things like radiograms? We used to have a radiogram when I was a kid.
Yeah, the big sideboard that you used to unfold bits of it inside,
And did it have all the little stickers that somebody'd put on, like saying Radio Luxembourg and things, because you get them in a magazine?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
I had no idea where Luxembourg was when I was a kid.
I'd used to fire it up, you'd let it warm up for a bit, because it had the old valve amp in it, and you'd hear it go...
The hum would gradually peter out and it'd be like, right, it's ready now.
And then you'd hear that static pop as everything, but Jeff Light says Belly was fish and chips. I got fish and chips later. Followed by raspberries and cream beverages, lemonade on the rocks. Happy days. Bench is a diamond art, just a filler while I await more paint supplies. PJ says free sugars. Good man. Jeff says we have 2 small independent record stores here. Bill says, last time I did orienteering was in the army. They made the mistake of there being a pub 200 metres in and had to send the duty Land Rover to scoop us up 6 hours later after we had failed to appear.
That's as far as they got.
Good man, I like your style, Bill.
Yeah, they had to send a wolf down to pick them all up.
All you had to say was we run out of light and, rather than risk getting lost, we decided to stay in the pub. James is in, says evening, morning, Colin Fox and all in chat. Hello, James. How you doing?
James.
He also says beverage, extra large doner, meat with salad, bench, Warhammer bits. Beverage was coffee. He's down the hole, isn't he?
He's down the hole.
Athena, belly, meat, feet, pista. In brackets, chili beef, ham, pepperoni and sausage with barbecue sauce base. Sounds nice. Bench barbecue and 6 spicy chicken wings. Bench a 70-second tornado, still doing the PE on the cockpit. Bevy, Fanta lemon. And what he's not said is several toilet rolls and a fast exit may be needed.
Yeah, and a cool sharp harp.
Oh, God, you're going back, yeah. Do you remember
Need a quick exit.
E as well?
Special E, I don't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be the advert with a big letter E, mate.
I don't remember that. Special E.
William Younger's Tartan Bitter. That was another one.
Oh, God, yeah. William, yeah, my neighbour used to drink that. Do you remember, what was it now? I can't remember what the beer was called, but it was called Goes Down Great Guns. What was it called? It was a bitter, and it had a picture of a cannon on the front. Something goes down great guns. That was its entire marketing slogan.
I remember it.
No, it might have been Stone's Bitter. Stone's Bitter, maybe. Goes down great guns, very northern.
That'll probably be why I don't remember it then, mate, because, yeah.
Could be.
I'm only northern when I'm doing Fred Dibner.
Yeah, or you're having chips from your local chippy with gravy.
Oh, yeah.
You are the luckiest southerner in the world around your area, you lot, because you've actually got a proper chip shop with a proper northern chip shop owner.
Yeah. I did it before when I was in. He got popped up gravy. He was like, "You're getting more northern." I went, "Please don't tell me that."
Did you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I always said you're an honorary northerner.
Oh, yeah.
You do quite a good Berry accent, which is very bizarre because most people don't even know what a Berry accent is, or Bolton with Berry accent.
Yeah.
Most people outside of the north don't even know.
I used to like watching a bit of Fred Dibner.
Oh, yeah.
I have watched it recently as a bit of ASMR. Fred Dibner, Ladder in a Chimney.
Oh, yeah. Going
Essential viewing.
I remember I watched, actually happened across, I think the first thing he was in, the first one where they were showing him up the chimney, and he had his lad, who was about 80.
Yeah, the apprentice, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's always a lad. And he was telling the story, about, you know, he was up this chimney at a factory. He said, we'll be here for about 6 months. And he said, we came down the first few weeks and there were still cars in the car park.
Yeah.
Right underneath the chimney. Then one got crushed by a load of bricks.
The chimney.
He said, and then a load of bricks fell off and crushed one of them. They don't park there anymore. He said, what did you do? And I said, well, I've got insurance, but at the same time, don't park where the guy's knocking bricks off a chimney.
I always remember watching it when I lived at home because my mum would come in and just go, "Oh, Fred Dibner's on the telly." It's like, okay, mum. Yeah, it's not his name, mum, but yeah. See, so my ability to stumble words was inherited off my dear mum.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she gave you many things, including that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what chat is doing. JC says, a tiny bit down the hole. I only have an extra 2 kits that I bought, but load more paints and base detail stuff. The moment you buy base detail stuff, you are down the hole, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yep. That's like claiming not to be down the hole and then buying a box of skulls. It's just not happening. Crafting Budgie Mum, Natasha Sin says, hi Festa and Fox, everyone in chat. Hey Natasha.
Hello, Tash.
Welcome. It was Stone's Bitter says, hang on, Athena, I had to remember. And I actually went, wait, Borderlands,
did you
Athena.
Did you look up to see
No.
Did you remember?
I went, Borderlands, and I thought to myself, why did I say Borderlands will remind me? Athena. There you go.
I'm proud of you, mate.
I could have just gone posters and that would have been a better link. Natasha says her plane is now fully painted pink.
Happy days.
I'd see a doctor about that. Max says to James, how far down the Warhammer hole are you now, mate? I don't think he's got so far that he's able to catch up with me and Festa yet, but...
yeah, well, I'm not down the hole, I'm still in denial.
No, he's close to me, but he's massively far away from you, mate.
I think he'll be quoting law next, Max.
Yeah.
That's how far down the hole I think he is.
Yeah.
He's that far down the hole, he's already thinking of adding extensions to his paint rack.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's really far down the hole, but he's already said that Ultramarines are rubbish.
Yeah. You know, he may have a orc figure tattooed on his arm to scale.
Yeah. To scale. A really big arm, then. Just the one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just the one, Mrs. Wembley. Not that far down as Fox, I can assume. I only have Crondies, Stormguard, Drakes, and Iona. Oh, this is all Age of Sigmar stuff, so I don't know what
but he's not down the hole. Yeah, hole
no.
boy.
Yeah. He's not down the hole, but he's doing Age of Sigmar, which is like the hardcore stuff. So.
Yeah. My name is James, and I'm down here.
Well, hang on. Crondis is a dragon, I think. Stormguard Drakes are the big, like, mandrake things. They're quite good. I've got one of those. I don't know what Ionis of Cryptborn is. So he's doing the big monsters. Yeah, he's down the hole.
Yeah, I don't know any of them, so...
No.
Hence why I'm not down the hole like you all are. See what I did there?
You're down the hole. You're so far down the hole, you can get rent from other people that fall down the hole.
Damn it.
You're so far down the hole that you're actually pulling in other holes by the gravity of being that far down the hole.
There is that. Yeah. I must admit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
Especially as evidenced by the thing he said to me earlier.
Yeah.
We like holes. Holes are good.
Yeah, so we got our tigers to do at some point, haven't we, as well? We got...
tiger wagon things.
I was perusing the backlog of painty stuff, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
damn, there's a lot there. It's like, yeah, Max is going to be so proud.
Oh yeah. What are we doing with the tigers? Are we doing that on stream, or I can't remember what we're doing. Are we filming that?
I've got no idea, mate. I know we discussed it way back, didn't we? But
if we do it as a stream thing, I'll have to make sure I get it all built and ready.
Yeah, I think that was what we was going to do, get the resin prep done off air.
Yeah,
because obviously, you know, we can't, with masks on and all of that, like with the sandy, so I think we're going to prep everything in the sub-assemblies and then go from it being primed and ready, I think.
Yeah, because this is the thing as well, is, you know, you've got like 4 parts, and once you glue them together, you have to wait for a day or so. It's like, well, there you go, that's the end of the stream. See you, bye.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll get them all ready.
So, yeah.
4 parts.
I think we was waiting until both our routines had settled and we can do the Wednesday show, wasn't it?
Yes,
was that what we was?
That might have been it.
Because we was going to interject on the Wednesday schedule a monthly Warhammer Wednesday, wasn't we?
Yeah.
So that's where the conversation got to, and then obviously real life got in our way, didn't it, mate?
Yep, as it always does. Real life schmife.
And don't forget, folks, the 12th, is it the 12th of this month? We're looking at doing the KA.Models Monday, so
Yep.
Keep an eye on that. We'll be putting some details up. We just need to have a quick get-together to make sure everyone's ready to roll, and
yes. Yep.
We should be doing that as a monthly show to begin with, just to see how we all get back into the routine, and then we'll see whether or not we do any more. But it'd probably be a monthly stream, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because we're so out of practice. We need to just ease ourselves in, because we haven't got a clue what we're doing. For the first few times, we'll be like, I've forgotten how we do it.
Yeah, we didn't have a clue before anyway.
Well, no, that's true.
You know, there is that.
There's being clueless, and then there's deliberately being clueless.
We could be really out there and give Ted the buttons. That would be fun.
This understanding of the word fun that you've got, I find it most interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, good old Ted.
Where are we up to? Don't worry, Max says, don't worry, I'm already living in the mineshaft with Warhammer extensions and Battletech and Gaslands, etc.
Good man.
Bill says, no, I'm not getting hooked. I still just hear static when the Warhammer talkie bits are happening.
Oh, bless you. Good man. That's a bit like the static PJ hears when we mention a certain car.
Oh, yeah. Which car is that?
Bluey car.
That's the one. You know me and my memory.
Absolutely.
I knew it was. I should have remembered it was the Bluey car that we're talking about.
Just thought I'd go straight in there. Bluey car was mentioned.
Yeah, because of course, if there's one car like the Bluey car that PJ doesn't like, it's the Bluey car. I don't know why he doesn't like the Bluey car, but he doesn't like the Bluey car.
I think secretly he's a Bluey viewer.
I think secretly he's got the sleeping bags and everything. He's got the onesie, I reckon.
Yeah, I could sense the twitching going on in PJ Towers.
I can feel a sudden heat on the back of my neck.
Yeah, is that the sound of darts being thrown at the monitor?
Yeah. If he was a Dungeons and Dragons dragon, he'd be sitting there going, "Frightful visage."
He's just looking at his monitor going, you can't go off these people, you know.
He's looking at his monitor going, how can I take money off Super Chats?
Yeah.
Dee. Don't forget, folks, if my voice is very annoying to you, which I'm sure it is, you can help Festa out by doing a specific super chat telling me to shut up, and I will do a minute for every £1 that you super chat of silence. But if you just do a normal super chat, obviously I don't, but if you do one specifically, it's completely optional.
Thinks he's asking a question in the chat. He says, what is a bluey car? You've got to ask the question. TK, yeah, this is a bluey car. Back in the day, Fox wanted to do a buddy build. So we both bought children's toys of the bluey car. And yeah, I kind of may have got carried away with mine and did a tank like contraption. So
I got halfway through painting mine to look like my car, but I haven't finished it. But yours is just vastly superior.
So yeah, and you've obviously got an Orc waving to the cameras, as Murray Walker would say.
Yeah.
And there is a bluey car. That's what we're on about, mate.
Yeah.
And
the custom work I did on mine was take the school teacher who's called, I can't remember, and custom remake the figure to look like a Foxy character. I added hair and stuff. That's all I did.
There you go. So that, my friend, is a bluey car with loads of Baneblade bits poking out and all kinds of gubbins going on.
And the bluey logo. This is the best bit.
Yeah. Turrets and all kinds of things. And so that, my friend, is a bluey car. And it's looking at it, it's going, PJ, da-da, da-da. There you go.
Bless you, my child, for asking for more information on that.
So that, my friend, is what the bluey car is.
Calypso, that's it. Thank you, JC Bricks and Build. Teacher's called Calypso. Yeah, yours is just awesome.
Yeah. PJ's now twitching and everything. He's now run out of his room. It's like running down the road, bless him, in a straitjacket going, yeah, the world is nigh. Yeah.
TK says, lol, not something I need to buy for my daughter. How has she not been exposed to Bluey yet? Don't all children get completely crazy about Bluey? I've got a spare one. I can send it to you. Oh no, did I send it to you? I might send it to you, mightn't I?
Oh no, you didn't. You sent it.
Oh no, I've got a spare one. I've still got a spare one.
No, I don't have two bluey cars, mate.
No, you don't have two cars. No.
It's funny, I haven't even started the second one and I've already had someone go, yeah, I'll buy that when it's built.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, yeah. And that's the irony. Yeah, that bluey car has actually got a home it will be going to. So it's like, yeah.
Already spoken for.
And that's the funny thing about it. It's like, yeah, it's sold already. It's like happy days.
Yeah.
Six so okay, she's exposed to Bluey, unfortunately. Max McGinn says, do I need to send an ambulance to PJ's because Bluey car's been showed? Yeah. He says, just back after stepping out for a comfort break. Did I miss anything? No, I didn't think so. That's what you did there.
Yeah, nice try, Spud.
It's all right, PJ. I can always lean back over and bring it back on the bench if you're really missing it that much.
Oh, sugar, spillage of glue. Oh, no. Only a little bit. How did I knock my glue over when it's got an anti-knocking over thing? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. You're that bloke who can break a shatterproof ruler, so, you know.
Yeah. Right. This is how you clear up a glue spill without getting rid of all your lines. Hopefully. You just tamp it. Like that. Yay, line's intact. But I'm kind of tripping balls a little bit.
Oh.
Right, there we go. I'll buy that for $1, says Bill. I'll buy that for $1. Just up to James says, yes, she got the free build and paint ones from the Warhammer store, has built one up and started painting it so far. Oh, hang on. Oh, he says, I'll go back a bit. He says, even Shania has a couple of Warhammers to build and paint.
Yeah, you said that on last week's show, James. Yeah, look forward to seeing them, mate.
Ray Aquilina is in. Hey, Ray, not seen you for a while.
Hello, Ray. Lovely to see you.
How you doing, buddy?
Hope you're keeping well.
Yeah.
All the way from Malta.
Yeah. Teeks says, spoon! Yes, I am. It cannot be denied.
But yeah, I've only managed to watch 3 or 4 episodes of Bluey, I think it is. So yeah.
That's pretty good for you. That I can't deny you that's a good effort for you.
But I may have completed the Bluey game.
Yes, yeah, you've actually got all the way through the game. I only got about 10 minutes in.
I got 1,000 points of the achievements as well. It's like, yeah, I got. Yeah.
Ooh. Now, here's a game that I thought might be of interest to you, but I don't know. It's a game that might be of interest to me, but I don't even like racing games. But there's a game. It's not out yet. It's only out on PC as a sort of work in progress free demo, but it's eventually coming to PC and consoles. And it's a game called Wreckfest 2.
Oh, right.
And I don't like driving games and racing games. They bore me rigid. But this is basically Destruction Derby.
Oh, nice one.
So it's all junker cars. The whole point is but it's got this incredibly realistic physics engine that mimics the damage of the car and all the physics of the soft body panels and stuff. Yeah. And I watched a video today and thought, ooh.
I saw that on the Sky News earlier build. GTA 6 has been delayed again.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently it's going to be worth it, so.
Yeah. GTA 4 was good.
I think it's like anything in it. They want it right because we all remember when Cyberpunk got rushed out and how that went.
Yeah.
And yeah.
The thing is, Rockstar, they take a long time to make their games, and that's the reason why all their games are so incredibly good, is because they just put it out when it's ready. And if it's going to take an extra year, not the end of the world.
Exactly.
I do love their games. It's just I always get kicked out of them by the control schemes they choose. So I hope they do a decent control scheme for it. I'm just rubbish at their games because
no comment.
1,000. Yeah, you took to it straight away, which is brilliant.
Yeah, he's like, "What are you playing? Red Dead Redemption? I'm going around shooting dudes." He's like, "How long you been playing it?" It's about 15 minutes, mate. I just loaded it up and I'm doing this now. And he was like, "Please don't tell me you've got used to Rockstar controls." I said, "Why? Was there an issue with them then?" It's like,
yeah. Press X to do this, unless you're doing that, in which case press a completely different button or in this other context, or just make it up. Okay.
And he's there going, you really can't go off some people, you know.
Yeah, I was proud. I was impressed and proud.
Yeah. He was even more proud when I loaded up Skyrim.
Oh, yeah.
Bill says it's cost $1 billion on release, yeah, but it's going to make them an absolute fortune.
Yeah, because they'll be selling it for like the next 15 years, and then they'll do a multiplayer bit which will carry on for the next 15 years. They're just money mills, the GTA games.
And of course they'll add a shed load of DLC to it and all of that lot. Max says, is it Wreckfest 2? I really enjoyed the first one. I think it's free on Game Pass. Teek says, still no new Carmageddon.
Nope. Yeah, Wreckfest 2. I was watching a video from Digital Foundry today, and just the physics engine for the destruction of the cars, it's just insanity. Plus all the ray tracing, it's just like, like they've not just got like a basic model of the car. When they model each car, they model everything in the car, including all the bits of the engine, the drive shaft and everything else, and all the bits that work. So when it hits something, it works out exactly how the different parts of the car would react in real life.
Oh, yeah.
And then crumples it accordingly. It's like, it's just insane.
Accident mechanic.
I'm not into car games, but even I've had fun with that. Right, this map has a wavy sword.
Yeah, I bet you sit there in a racing car suit, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Great.
There you go.
Got to make car noises. Hang on, which one am I making now? I've done the Sergeant.
Of course, it's Miami Formula One this week, so no spoilers, folks, because I haven't watched any Formula One yet. So,
if you give him spoilers, he will find you and he will end you.
Yeah, we'll come and haunt you.
Forever. I think I'm going to give all these dudes the big pointy sticks because it looks good. So I want...
They're all going to be Ruperts then, are they? Is that what you're saying? Because they're all going to be pointy.
No, it's in pointy stick like a lance with a grenade on the end.
Yeah.
Not a pointy stick like a pointing at things stick. Although they are pointy. They'd be pointy sticks. Then again, it's painting a lot of flags. I'll give them all sticks.
Yeah.
Why not make the model twice as tall as it needs to be?
Well, I'm known for that, aren't I? By putting on sails, masts, and crow's nests on Baneblades, and
yeah. It's like I've already struggled to put these horsey ones anywhere, so I may as well make them twice as tall. Compound the problem. Right, so I want to do...
So, chatlings, what are you all up to this weekend? Have you got family over, or you got plans? You going anywhere nice?
I like that, chatlings. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good name, that.
Yeah, you could have copyright on that. You'll be using that next time you go live.
No, I'll have completely forgotten by the end of the show. C13. What head does it need? Which bomb? C12.
There you go. Ray says, how you doing? Okay by Jeff. TK says 20 cars. Yeah, that's what he did there.
Makes no sense, but I'll take it anyway. Max says, I think the last Carmageddon game I played is the max damage one on Xbox, but I've all the originals on PC.
Oh, nice one.
I think that was the game that got banned in the 90s and was like a big public outrage in like nanny state Britain. Because all the old people thought it was like, you can't have a video game where you drive over pedestrians or something.
Wasn't that Grand Theft Auto San Andreas?
Probably that as well.
That had a public outcry because people were able to run over poor innocent little children running around playing. It's like, oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah, and then Hot Coffee in Liberty City, I think, which was the one with the sex scene they forgot to remove from the game. It's like, people got their knickers in a twist over so many simple things. Look at games now, it's like, yeah.
Nanny state Britain during the whole Britannia era. It was like, yeah. It's like, really?
Now look at games, so much fun going on. What was all that big kerfuffle about? Nothing.
Kerfuffle.
That's a good word, that. Kerfuffle. 40. I need 14. C14, there we go.
Yeah, we go from one extreme to the other in this country, don't we? We go really nanny state, and then everything then gets undone for a few years, and then we go back to being nanny state again, and it's like, oh, really make your minds up.
Yes.
Because we had it with Mary Whitehouse, didn't we, back in the day when she was doing the rounds and telling everyone what they could sit and watch, and it's like, really?
It's like, shut up, Mary Whitehouse. Eventually she did. What is that? C13. And now the random thing of finding a random part on a random sprue, because they're not in any order.
I've always been of the opinion if people pay their money to watch, then let them watch.
Yeah, watch what they want. People can decide for themselves what's acceptable. Shut up.
Yeah, the minute you try to police everything, I think it makes it 10 times worse. It was a bit like the DJ Mike Reed when he banned Frankie Goes to Hollywood's record. It suddenly went from being an obscure independent record to #1 in the charts. It's like, yeah, what did you expect? And then obviously the conspiracy theorists were like, was he paid to do that by the record company?
Yeah.
That's like, yeah. Cool Britannia at its best.
Yeah. So when people try and like ban stuff because of their either beliefs or their personal moral issues, like, well, those are your issues, not my issues. Don't assume that everybody thinks the same
absolutely. If someone's got religious beliefs, good luck to them. If it makes them happy, so be it. Just don't try and impose them on everyone else.
Yep.
You know, at the end of the day, I respect people's independent beliefs. That's up to them. But when it's forced on me, I have a problem then. It's like,
don't assume that I believe or have the same morals as you. Or just
if it gives them a sense of fulfilment, good luck to them as long as they're happy. But, you know, I respect their view. Can they respect mine? That's all we ask.
It's funny though, isn't it? How it goes through cycles. Like, first of all, it was the rock and roll was evil. And then it was the violence in the films, and then it was the violence in the video games, and there's always something that the old people have to shout about. And it's like, just shut up.
Yeah, but dude, we are now the old people.
Yeah. I don't know what we shout about though. What do we, apart from like influences of rubbish. But that's not necessarily wrong. In fact, it's absolutely correct.
Unnecessary rules and regulations, I think, is what me and you bleat about the most.
Yeah, but I don't imagine what our generation would see as a corrupting influence on the kids today. It's all just rubbish anyways. I don't see what we would have to latch onto and say, oh, it's bad for the children. No, it's fine.
No, I think we're at that point where we really don't care. People are people at the end of the day. What'll be, will be, innit? Live and let live is my motto.
Well, it's like every single thing that the older generation has pointed out as being evil and a bad influence for the kids has just not been at all. It's like, really, just shush. Let the kids do the kids' things.
Exactly.
You may not understand it. It may make no sense. And they may be making complete idiots of themselves. But you know what? We learn by doing.
Yeah, but we've all made decisions as we grew up that probably weren't the best decisions.
Oh, yeah.
But you learn from them because that's what you do, you know.
Not growing up.
I've always been of the opinion, let people make the mistake as long as they learn from it. As long as they're not going around beating up Ma and Pa Kettle for their pension.
Yep.
You know, and that sort of crime, you know, and others that we won't go into. But
no. It's like, you know, if you do something dumb, you'll either learn from your mistake and never do it again, or you won't, in which case, well, no loss. You know what I mean? But, yes, it's always funny though, isn't it? Like, you know, in the 50s, it was all rock and roll is evil, and
oh, yes, pop music is going to kill everyone. Yeah, of course it is.
And then there was the big hoo-ha about like Ouija boards being satanic and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it was a toy invented by like Hasbro, right?
I can always remember the furore over Led Zeppelin's occult symbols and stuff, you know, and it's like all this symbology and Ozzy Osbourne with, if you play his record backwards, it gives you a verse from Revelations. It's like, yeah, also knackers your stylus, but hey, you know.
Yeah, that's probably more of a learning experience than the other bit.
Judas Priest had famous court cases, didn't they, where a couple of American kids had self-harmed, and it was basically the lyrics of their music were enticing people to go and attempt suicide, and there was quite a well-publicised court case over it, and it's like, oh, really?
I mean, sometimes you can't deny that sometimes things are a bad influence, but I think there's always that cultural thing of this entire cultural thing is evil. It's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, I think people look for things, don't they? And if they convince themselves that there's hidden meanings in lyrics, then that's it. There is in their mind. And
the funniest example of it I ever found or ever heard of and came across was in the 70s when the old fuddy-duddies were in a massive conniption fit about the worst possible satanic influence, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And it's like, seriously? You've seen people that played Dungeons and Dragons in the 70s? Yeah, there's really no worries there,
turtleneck wearing neckbeards.
Yeah, it was people from the chess club. It's not a problem. Yeah, but no, the olds were like, oh, Dungeons and Dragons. No,
they all had tweed jackets with cravats.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's funny. Old people are just rubbish, clearly. It's the lesson we're taking away here.
Yeah. People keep sitting there playing these imaginary games, they'll lose their minds.
Yeah.
Because they're not facing reality.
Yeah.
Go put the cocoa on. It's like...
Margaret. Let's have a quick look at chat. La, 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 la. Jeff says there's a sensor system. It's called the on-off button.
Exactly, mate.
Ray Aquilina says, I've really missed you guys. I was at hospital. Oh, I hope you're better. Mate. I hope you're recovering.
Sorry to hear that, Ray. I hope you're feeling better, fella.
Yeah, I hope you're either recovering or recovered or on the way to recovery. Or
we always miss you as well, mate.
Yeah. Max says, I can remember tabletop games and D&D stuff was considered evil and stuff. Yeah, that's it. Bill says, my Aztec dummy paint masks for my Revell Enterprise arrived, and oh boy, that's going to be a 2 swear jar build. Yeah, as the painting masks, yeah.
Which you're going to call out a few names, Bill. I'm going to say that out loud now, mate.
Yeah. Which Enterprise, though? Because that also makes a difference. Bill, that's a hell of an image, though. I see you more as a drawer full of panties and drinking through a gimp mask. Wait, what? Have I read the wrong comment there?
Okay, I'm now getting really concerned.
Yeah, I'm not sure what comment that was referring to. Athena says, I'll be picking up Ivy in the morning, do a bit of food shopping, and then back home for games, Xbox and cooking, doing a gammon roast on Sunday, including a homemade giant pigs in blankets.
Good man.
Now, funnily enough, when Festa and I were talking earlier on, here's something, people in chat. If you don't mind being thoroughly humiliated, list something or reveal something that you completely misunderstood as a child. And in my case, the reason this makes me think of it is because when I was a kid, I thought gammon was a kind of fish. I don't know why. I just thought gammon was fish of some sort. And I was well into my 20s before I realised it wasn't. I'm like, oh, is that gammon? Oh, all right. I thought it was a fish. Honestly, I did. I don't know why. I'm an idiot. I mean, I know that anyway. But so what did you have in your childhood that you completely misinterpreted or misunderstood and thought was a totally different way? Reveal your most embarrassing misunderstandings. PJ says you can always count on the stupid doing stupid things. Absolutely.
Absolutely, PJ, mate.
Andy Preston's in, says, hi, everyone. Hi, Andy.
Hello, Andy. Lovely to see you, mate. Hope you're keeping well, buddy.
Yep.
Big wave.
Athena's on his 6th for the year. I've lost track of this conversation, haven't I? I don't quite know where we're going with that one now.
No, I'm getting rather concerned now.
Yes. PJ says, oi, Fox, I'm not old. Not all oldies are moaners. Oh, hang on.
Hold up a minute, PJ.
Careful what you admit to.
Nah.
Yes, I don't know why I thought gammon was fish. I don't know why. I just did. I thought gammon was fish.
Who knows how your mind works, dear?
Nobody knows how not even my mind knows how my mind works. I have to say, Deathcore Krieg heads are very difficult to clean up when you've got sweaty fingers because it's warm.
Oh, right, yeah.
because you're trying to get the mould line from around the sides of the helmet with all the little rivets on it, but it's an absolute nightmare because it won't stay still.
Yeah.
Nobody's revealed anything embarrassing in the chat yet. Do you have anything that you totally failed to understand as a kid?
No, to be quite honest with you, I can't think of anything. I've been trying to, and nothing really jumps out at me, to be quite honest with you.
I mean, I clearly was a special child, let's be honest.
Well, we know that.
I remember, like, the teacher I had in 4th year primary school was a family friend.
Mm.
And every week he'd do a tables test. It was basically a piece of paper with like a load of like times tables written down. And he'd say go, and you'd have to all do it. And you'd have to try and do it as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And every week I'd do absolutely terrible at it because I hated maths anyway.
Mm.
And I'd get like 3 questions out of the 20, and he had like 5 minutes, and I'd never get past the first or the second or third question.
Mm.
And there was always like the one kid who, like, she was a genius and would do it in like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
It got to the point where one summer holiday, or one holiday, I think it was like a bank holiday week we had off or something, he came round and he gave Mum like a bunch of these tests and said, right, just get him to practice them every day.
Yeah.
Because he needs to get good at his maths. And it was at that point I realised it was the same test every week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was sitting there trying to work them all out, and it's like, it's the same times. And I'm like, oh, for a whole year I've been, and I was like, really? Yeah. So I was trying to work them out, and I could have just memorised them, never mind. You know when all the kids make pictures out of like macaroni and cartridge paper? Yeah. I'm eating the macaroni. That's the kind of kid I was at school. Where are we up to? Teak says the whole world because hang on. The whole world because it turned out I'm on the spectrum. Okay, it's like things you didn't understand. I get you.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, same here. Andy Presley is cleaning up the best part of modelling.
Yeah, very therapeutic.
Yeah, it can be. If it's like just getting rid of seam lines and stuff and not having to fill gaps and all that kind of stuff, but yeah.
You know, I think I must be the only person who finds denubbing tank tracks therapeutic.
Yeah, because it's like you can't really go wrong with it. It's just something you need to do.
Just sit and do it. It's just bit up the bench, bit of rock music in the earpieces. Normally a bit of Metallica does it for me, and I'm well away.
Yeah. Max says, missing interpretation of the song Peaches by the Stranglers. I thought it was about the beach. Oh boy, how innocent-minded I was. Oh yeah. Do. Oh yeah.
Okay, Max, yeah.
Yeah, bless you, my child.
Oh. Bless you, innocent child.
Yes. PJ says, my 1/100th Cosmic Scale Model Serenity resin kit from the TV series Firefly arrived yesterday at over 1 metre in length. It's going to be an interesting build. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. 1 metre of solid chunky resin. It's not a small ship, the Firefly. It's not like a slim thing, is it? It's nice and chunky and bigger shape to a bit of girth. PJ likes a bit of girth.
That way around.
For some reason, no reason at all. Actually, I know why. I've just been like hit with a intercontinental ballistic missile of an earworm. That the theme tune from Space Battleship Yamato 21910 just banged into my head and is stuck there now.
Oh dear.
And it's because he says cosmic scale models, and then I thought of Cosmo fighters, which are the fighter planes. And
you do realise that earworm will be with you this time tomorrow still.
But, I mean, it is a fantastic... The instrumental version is fantastic. It's fantastic. Oh, it's such a good theme tune.
That's the thing, when you get an earworm.
The only pain is when you get an earworm and you're on a live stream and you can't whistle it to get it out of your head because you can't whistle it because you're on a live stream. It's like, oh... That's one of your Grail kits, isn't it? The Space Battleship Yamato.
It is a Grail kit. I will get one day.
The irony is that like the 21.99, the more modern one, is the one that's hard to get. The old one, from the original series, is more available, but it's just not very good.
Yeah, I saw the picture PJ put up of the Serenity, and it's like,
oh yeah, it's not small.
Oh yes, I can imagine that is going to be rather spectacular.
Spectacularnicus. Yes. Max says, I thought that'd make you guys laugh. I still find it funny now. I think I probably had similar things when I was a kid that I didn't quite get the adult nature of stuff, but I don't remember any of them. I've said before, I've said many times before that when I was very young, or even a young man, I just had this concept that women didn't poop. I was like, no, girls don't poop. They're too delicate.
I really worry about your sense of mind at times.
Yeah, do I have a sense of mind? I don't even know if I have one.
I don't know, but you led a very sheltered life, dear.
3 boys, no sisters. Yeah, girls made no sense to me at all. No concept. Went on nicely.
Having 2 sisters older than me, I learnt that girls can remove large areas of each other's hair in milliseconds.
Yes, and you also learned that they are always right.
Yeah, it was like watching a farmer with a scythe in a cornfield. It's like, that's a lot of hair flying up in the air there over Donny Osmond, of all people. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Go downstairs to Mum and explain why you both have bald spots on the side of your heads.
Yeah, and then your mum goes, you should be listening to the Bay City Rollers, now get out.
Yeah.
Donny Osmond, I don't know.
I can always remember my mum, so yeah, have a listen to that. Like Led Zeppelin 2, good girl.
Donny's like, oh.
It's like, yeah.
The 70s were dark, dark times in so many ways.
Yeah.
So many ways.
My mum never understood the girl's obsession with Bay City Rollers and the Osmonds. She said, I've been sitting here playing all this quality music, and 2 of my own are listening to this drivel. Yeah.
Well, it's what they heard at school. Probably all the other girls got into it, wasn't it? Because it was the Jackie magazine type stuff.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll listen to that. That's like, yeah, right up my street. Happy days.
Right. I can confirm that for horse number 14, I had the right head.
Yay!
The harness is fit. So happy times. Only 6 more to go. I need his big pointy stick. I also need a big sword. Right. I need part number not numbered. Thanks. Why have you not telling me what?
I can always remember the scandal in the UK when punk rock hit. And it was like, everyone was under the impression that the world would end because of this rebellious music. And it's like, come on, they're only songs. Get over yourself.
Just songs, mate. It's just people going out, getting a little bit drunk, maybe. That's the worst that's going to happen.
There's always been anti-establishment in youth.
Yep.
It's just the latest fad.
It is how young people do. How young people do is
exactly
the phrase I just murdered. Right, what is this?
I don't know, I liked the whole vibe of the punk rock scene. It seemed rebellious. It was just, yeah.
Well, it kind of made sense because, you know, the establishment at that time was very stiff and fuddy-duddy and, you know, nowadays the establishment's just rubbish. So there's nothing really to rebel against like that.
We all still had granddads that dressed like Mr. Chubley Warner, didn't we, you know? And
yeah.
Stiff upper lip and all of that, you know? And it's like, yeah, and then they'd come round and you're sitting there playing frigging in the rigging and they pick up on what's been said and they're like, yeah, the realisation dawned, didn't it? And it's like, yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like, you know, the establishment was so at odds completely different to the younger generation, because the younger generation had a certain sort of energy and freedom that the old guard was all boring and stiff. Nowadays, the establishment is just boring suits. So there's nothing for the youth to rebel against, because there's just no point. They look at them and go, whatever. Because there's, if so, I'm just weird. I don't know if
I
we'll
can
ever
always
get that
remember my Aunt Win. Oh, that's got a bit of a beat to it. What track's that? And I explained to her, it's Anti-Nowhere League Win, so what? What's that about? So I turned the volume up a bit and she heard some of the words and she's like, oh. Oh, she went. Oh, well.
3 weeks later, she was at one of the concerts.
Yeah, it was like...
Horsehead, why the long face? Ha.
So what you did there.
Teak says, old folks talking, move along.
Yeah. It's funny, me and my missus often talk about these two cantankerous old people we once saw sitting on a bench by Bournemouth Beach. And we was there going, God, if we ever end up like that, yeah.
Shoot us.
Well,
Funnily enough.
It's like H says, I put a lot of work into being this cynical and cantankerous.
Yep.
It's like, yeah.
It's like we get to that age and we realise after you've gone through everything, you think, now I know why they were grumpy and old people were grumpy and cantankerous.
Yeah.
Now, it's because they kind of deserve to be, because they've been through all the crap that we put them through.
It's when you find yourself talking like that and you get the giggles, don't you? Because you suddenly realise you sound just like your old cantankerous granddad. I was thinking Charlie, with his pigeon head. Yeah, you'd never guess what, and he'd go into full-blown Alf Garnett. And it's like, yeah, and we are doing exactly the same. And I was having a rant at the telly. And H was like, she said, you're so much like Charlie. She said, it's quite funny to see. She said, you've morphed into him. And then that was it. Where he was like, yeah.
I remember many years ago, there's a field nearby, or there used to be like a big playing field near us. And it was built over with houses and stuff. And my brother said, we went there one day, and my brother had been away for a long time. He came home from the States. And he says, oh, I finally get to say it. I said, what do you mean? He says, I get to say the thing that old people say. He stood there and he went, I remember when this was all fields.
Yeah.
And he said, right, I can validly say it now. That means I'm old.
Yeah, we can look out of our window at the back of this house and say that, because when we first moved in here, literally, the other side of the fence was Worthing Farm.
Yep.
And it just stretched for miles and miles and miles. Now it's all built on.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, but it's progress, isn't it, at the end of the day? It's like every time I go up to the city, there's always new buildings and stuff that's changed. It's like Manchester. It's a continual living, breathing, evolving metropolis. And
yeah, metropolis.
That's how it is. And I love that, because it's all progress, isn't it?
Or as my dad used to say, a sprawling metropolis.
Yeah. And I love that, because it makes you wonder where the cities are going to evolve to, doesn't it? Because, yeah.
There'll always be country space and green space. There'll always
of course there will.
But you can't deny. So at some point, people have to have somewhere to live.
There's always going to be people that complain, why are they building on that? Why? Because people have got to live somewhere.
Athena says, when you two were sat on this bench, was there possibly a mirror in front of you?
Yeah.
And TK says, I'm still young and I can play much more than you two.
Yeah, because you're a fair bit younger than us two, aren't you? I mean, yeah.
And Ray says, I go to sleep now. Good morning, my friend. See you. Take care, Ray.
Yeah, you take care, buddy. Lovely to see you, Ray.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you for coming in. Oh, there's no sense to these sprues at all.
I know, it's...
It's like, come on now. If you're going to have, like, 2 horses and 2 riders, at least have all the bits for each rider on the same sprue. You don't make sense.
I mean, it's going to be a nightmare in 2 years, because I'll be 60. I know.
I didn't even know numbers went that high.
It doesn't it annoy you when you say it, though? You sit there and you think, 2 years, I've got to be 60. Mentally, you don't feel you're 60. Physically, yeah, the carcass is, like, wrecked.
Yeah.
But mentally, I don't feel 60. And it's like...
I had one the other day when I sat there and I realised that when my mum was my age now, I'd been out of school for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Which to me is like a few years ago.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's like 35 years ago. Oh.
I know.
It's when you start comparing your age to things. Like, for a long time, I was always like, I'd always measure my things in my life from the end of World War II to when I was born, and then compare that to parts of my life and be like, oh, good God.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in our brains, at the end of World War II to when, 1971, when I was born, was like 1,000 years. But apparently it wasn't.
No.
I've actually been out of school longer than from the end of World War II.
Well, I mean, it's like when we all first passed our driving test and you get your first driving licence and it had the expiry date of 2037. Oh, yeah. I thought, that's millions of years' time. And then it's like,
Actually, I'm not sure. I think I actually realised the other day mine is due to expire soon. I better just have a quick look.
Yeah, mine's spent now, my driving licence. Yeah. And it won't get renewed because I said I could keep it because, I'm not going to drive again.
Keep it for memento.
Memento, but they're like, it's invalidated.
Mine expires 2028. Oh, that's because I got a plastic license.
They have a expiry limit on it. It's just a way of the DVLA making more money out of people, isn't it?
No.
Someone said that they wanted people to retake their driving test every 5 years, and it's like, really? That's just another way of making money out of people, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, retake your test when you hit, say, I don't know, 70 or something, like, because you get the problem of older drivers.
Yeah.
So the late life retest is a good idea, but not every 5 years. Come on now.
Yeah, there's a line, isn't there? Well, that is well warped, isn't it?
If I was going to say, I'd say put a minimum age of driving on like 25 or something, 30.
Yeah.
Because seriously, screw teenagers driving; they're just idiots. What do I want? A C15.
Yeah, but when we was teenagers, we wouldn't have said that, would we?
No, exactly. C15. Where is C15?
Next to C14. See what I did?
Ironically, next to C14 is C83.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Sounds about right.
Yeah. It's a big stick with a hand on it. And
at least they've got some numbers on them.
Numbers. Yeah, like a certain kit we can fondly remember.
Oh, yeah. The kit with no name. Yeah.
Yes. The biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I really can't find this part.
See, PJ twitches at the Bluey car. We twitch at the Stomper.
Yeah, Stompytrons. Right, that's not 15. That's 34.
That was one of them kits. You're like, it seemed a good idea at the time. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, you see one built up, you're like, oh, I've got to build that. And then you get it and you think, oh, I wish I didn't have to build this.
Yeah. It's funny, not long after I built it, someone said, oh, have I got one? Would you build it for me? And I'm like, oh, please don't ask me that.
Please don't ask me that ever. Have I already used it somewhere? I'm confused now.
Oh dear. Fox is confused, folks. This is where it starts.
Who's the guy that I've already built? I've already built him. He's got a pointy stick. And that could have been C15. So, do I not want that? I'm going to sneeze.
Go for it.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
I saw what he did there.
Yeah, you see what I did there.
Back says, I've recently passed my driving test. It's still a surreal feeling driving by yourself. Yeah. You wait, you'll be now moaning, mate, going, God, these bloody learners, get a move on. Yeah.
Get out of my way.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I've...
Don't you realise I've got places I need to be?
Get you out of my way.
Yeah.
I may have used that part already.
Yeah. He's having a bubble. Get a move on.
The bubble. Right there. Oh, I see. I see. Now I am understanding. That was London Weekend Television.
That is correct. So we got that to
Oh, there
go
it is.
in.
I found it. Thank you. There it is. Lovely, lovely.
Glasses going in there. That
Glasses.
is well
We don't
warped.
need no stinking glasses, senor.
Let's figure that out by seeing how far out that is.
Far out, dude.
Yeah,
Fox, why are you having a go at old people tonight? Did one bite you recently or something? Asked PJ. No, it's grumpiness because we are old and we're realising. It's one of those days when you realise, man, I'm old.
yeah.
Also, what else are old people supposed to whinge about apart from other old people?
Yeah, it's one of them. You can feel yourself getting grumpier by the year as well, can't you? And you're like, yeah, I am becoming that atypical grumpy old man. But
and the thing to remember as well is that young people nowadays are just too much of an easy target to be grumpy about.
Yeah,
because everything about them is wrong. So the only thing we can really honestly be grumpy about is older people than us. So it's kind of the only option we've got, really. Because moaning about young people is just too easy.
do you find the older we're getting, the more pronounced our lack of a social filter is getting?
Yeah, the more of a IDGAF kind of mentality kicks in. It's like, I don't care, I'll say what I want. I think as we get older, we realise there are less and less consequences for just actually saying what we're thinking.
Exactly. It's like,
And we think,
just one of them, innit?
there's some I can't remember, it's a classic example, I can't remember who wrote it, but it's like an author, and she was an actress. It might be one of those famously old actresses, like whose names are all escaping me, but it was basically, she said, I'm 70 now, which means I can dye my hair purple and swear at people and not give a crap.
Yeah, fair play to her.
Yeah.
I love that. Look how warped that is.
What's that?
That door frame.
Oh.
Way out, isn't it?
The irony is, there's probably the exact measurements taken. Oh, it's the American truck, isn't it? Not a Russian truck.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if it was that Russian fire truck, that's probably by design.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty harsh.
There's a bit.
I think something got a bit hot in the mould there, and maybe
It will conform. It will be suitably dosed with extra fin and clamped.
oh yeah, maybe a bit of the old heat gun or hairdryer even.
No, I don't need it that much. It'll comply.
Nice one.
That's why the door's been glued in to act as a clamping surface. You're a clamping surface. I know what you're going to say.
I like to clamp it.
Right, ready to rumble.
Neither of you are as old as me. Next year I'll be 70, says PJ. Really?
Really?
I didn't think you were that old.
No, I didn't, PJ. I'm shocked.
I thought you were our kind of age, like, you know.
Yeah, I thought there was only about 3 or 4 years between us, mate.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Still jealous of the white hair, though, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, he's proper Doc in the out of Back to the Future.
Yeah, because I've always said, like, white hair means you can do anything with your hair. It can be explodey, you can have the biggest, most scruffiest beard, and it still looks good.
Yeah.
Whereas with my hair, if I let my hair go everywhere and didn't do my beard, I'd just look like a hobo.
Yeah, but you're like me, you're losing your barnet. Well, I've lost mine, but
yeah,
you're like the Pope whose skull cap's crooked, isn't he? It's like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, unlike my dad, I haven't got the bit at the back going. It's just my fringe moves back.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
I didn't get that kind of monk cut that my dad had because he had the bald spot at the back.
And
he didn't care. He went white.
No, I don't give a monkeys. It's only barnet at the end of the day.
Yeah. And
Saves me a fortune on haircuts. That's how I look at it.
Well, that's the funny thing. Like, you know, when I was younger, and you'd see all these like middle-aged men, and they'd be like, "Oh, my baldness and patent baldness. No, I'm depressed." But it's like, to me, I'd just go, "Well, just shave your head, have a number one. Doesn't matter then."
It's the ones that really go to obscure lengths to do a comb over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, one, you're kidding no one, and two, just get rid. It's only hair at the end of the day. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, the only thing I can think is maybe in the 70s and 80s it just wasn't considered as acceptable for, you know, men in the 30s and 40s to have shaving heads or to have very, very short hair.
We're the Kojak and Yul Brynner generation, you know. I saw Kojak and Yul Brynner, and I always thought a bald head was actually a really nice look if it was done properly, you know what I mean? Yeah. So when my hair started to go, it went quite rapidly. It started as like big patches over the top of my head, to be quite honest with you. And where I wore my hair really long back then, it looked like I had some kind of squirrel clinging on the back of my head.
Yeah.
And someone in the pub one night said, "Oh, well, you know, when you have your hair down, you remind me of Francis Rossi." The clippers came out that night, and so did the razors. It's like, yeah.
Well, I used to love having my hair long. I used to have my hair down to my butt. I used to have it either in a ponytail or just long. And I've said before, I had my skunk stripes and stuff. But then, as the fringe started going back a lot more, it's strangely enough exactly the same thing to me. I started thinking, I look like Francis Rossi. This isn't it. So I thought, right, I can't have long hair anymore.
I used to have my beard woven. Sometimes, if I was on the bike, I'd wear it in a leather stole, you know, like a tube. And that, but there's a reason behind that, because I was on the M25 in my old bullet helmet back in the day, which was an open face crash helmet.
Yeah.
And I used to have a long ZZ top beard, and it blew out of my scarf and went up over the front of my face, and I nearly wrecked the bike. And it was like, only happens to you once.
But the funny thing is now that any time you mock me for having hair extensions, I can mock you for having a woven beard, because you've just revealed that.
So I don't have no shame in that, mate.
I have no shame in mine.
A woven beard is not as bad as a fake clip-on ponytail, mate. I don't care what anyone says. You had a fake ponytail. That is... True. Don't even try to wheedle your way out of that.
I'm not wheedling out of anything. It was there. It served a purpose for a few weeks till my hair grew.
Yeah, mine was a health and safety decision. What was yours?
I wanted to be a pirate. I needed a ponytail because pirate ponytails are awesome.
Yeah.
But my own hair at the time. My own hair went through a stage where it looked good in a ponytail and it looked good when it was down, but there was a bit when it was growing in the middle where it just looked really stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't like that bit. It was a bit wham, and I'm like, I don't want that.
Oh dear.
So I was like, no, I'll just get these in. It'll for a few weeks. That'll let my hair grow out, and I can get it out.
Really you're explaining too much now. You know, it's.
I'm more than comfortable with it. It looked quite good. I'll dig it out. It's in the drawer. Oh no, that's my real ponytail.
I once had a pirate shirt and leather trousers in the very early 80s.
Yeah, that's Adam and the Ants era though, isn't it? So.
Yeah, but I wasn't an Adam and the Ants fan, mate.
No, but it was a thing that was going. It was that kind of style was.
Back in the days just before hair metal became a thing, it was, that old sort of 1800s big flowy shirt without the lace sleeves. Used to cut them off.
It was like
the distressed leather trousers, and it's like, oh dear.
It was kind of like a love child of new romantics and prog rock and stuff, wasn't it? All those kind of different things merging together, back of the hippie era.
And then I went and did my metal mullet, which was very Jason Newsted out of Metallica. I basically had just above the belt on my waist is how long my hair went, and I literally shaved both sides of my head and just had the long hair like a big Mohican metal mullet going on, and
the crazy stuff we did in our youth
seemed like the thing to do at the time.
And you have to remember, of course, that these were all things we did when we were like in our teens, early 20s, very early to mid-20s, you have to remember that when you're that age, you're basically an idiot.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we can all sit there and say, yeah, we were idiots. And I take pride in the stupid, dumb stuff I've done when I was young, because it was really dumb, some of it.
Oh, mate, I loved all the silly things we did.
Yeah. If you're going to do dumb stuff, then the 70s and 80s were probably one of the best times to do it.
You know, when I first took the wife home to meet me mum, Helen, back then, she looked like a miniature version of Elvira. She was proper goffed up back in the day, you know what I mean? And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny because, yeah.
Like me when I was in my grunge phase, and it was all like biker jackets, black leather gloves, you know, black combat pants, combat boots.
Yeah.
Well, a flipping Terminator walking down the street, what a chump.
Yeah, I can always remember the height of my mum's eyebrows when H first walked in. Oh, hello. Oh, I like your dress. And it's like, yeah, say it like you mean it, Mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, once she got to know H, she was like, yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah. Once she realised that she could keep you in line, she fell for her.
Yeah. Yeah, she had that full-blown Transylvanian look going on, and it was like... And when Cal went through his goth stage, he thought he was the only one in the world
who
had ever been a goth, and then H dug out some of our old photos, and she was like, if you're going to do goth, do it well, son.
And the thing is that no matter how stupidly some young guy or girl dresses today, they can't really compete with us because we lived through the Miami Vice era. We were in the 80s, and the dumb stuff we did in the 80s is way dumber than anything they can do today.
Yeah.
Except having your trousers around your middle of your legs and your bum hanging out in jeans.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
that.
I think we all went through the espadrilles and those socks stage for a summer.
Yeah. Shoulder pads.
Oh, God, 1980s shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Women looked like American footballers, didn't they? Because they had shoulder pads on their T-shirt, the jumper, the jacket. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, all the men's suits were like, imagine classy 1940 suits, but take all the classiness out of them. And
do you remember the big baggy parachute suits?
Yeah. Yeah. I had a bolero suit jacket at one point.
Oh, my God.
I know. It was like, I don't know what that was about. It was like, ooh, nice little suit jacket with bolero. Oh, my mum called it a bum freezer. There was some crazy nonsense. But that was the 80s.
Teabag T-shirts.
I never had a teabag T-shirt, I can safely admit.
But it was all the big overdone pastel shirts and that. It's
yeah, the 80s was all pastel shade. Oh,
it's like, no way am I wearing pastels.
It's like if you watch any like cartoons from the 1990s.
Yeah.
Like they've all got that same kind of like strains, like triangles and squares in patterns with pastel colours kind of designs. Like anything from Rugrats to Monsters to all those cartoons in the 80s, they've all got that same style. That sort of 80s, early 90s style. It's just horrendous.
It's just wrong in so many ways, isn't it? PJ says, Fox and a fake ponytail, so many jokes, so little time. Just think of Only Fools and Horses where Rodney Trotter had that clip-on ponytail page. That's what I always think of when Fox mentions the clip-on ponytail. Athena says, the only person who never got grief about his comb-over was Bobby Charlton. Yeah.
See, to me, in my mind, when I had my like piratical ponytail, it was the same kind of mental state as you with your new romantic style floofy shirts and stuff. It was that kind of look that was inspiring me.
Yeah, it didn't be further from New Romantics if you tried, mate. But yeah,
no, but I mean that kind of like that. What you were saying about that kind of style.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was that kind of thing I was thinking of when I did. I'm not saying it came out like that, but
yeah. God, I visibly cringed. New Romantic. How dare you?
Well, that's what I was saying. It was more like it was a love child of that.
Yeah, there was so much
prog rock and
comparisons made between. Because don't forget, we had punk rock, new romantics, mods rockers, all kinds of music going on back then, didn't we? And I think that's where the 80s came into its own.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the fashion was bish.
Yeah.
But, you know, we was coming out of the 70s where for some reason fashion just lost all kinds of reality, didn't it?
It's like the 60s hippies morphed into 70s prog rock, and then the prog rock morphed into everything else, basically.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, the youth of the 70s and 80s has stuff to fight against and rebel against. Nowadays, there's nothing for the youth to rebel against because they just look at, like, any generation beyond theirs and go, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, don't care.
I actually think we was quite blessed because we had such a massive variety of musical influences to choose from, didn't we? And there was something for everyone back then, and I don't know whether it's the same now because obviously I'm not au fait with more modern music because I'm kind of stuck in my own little time bubble with it. I like what I like, and that's good enough for me, type of thing.
I mean, I don't know, but I would guess. See, of course, like the youths of today, they have access to all the music that we had access to, but all that music that we had access to isn't current now.
No.
So they're not necessarily going to be exposed to it.
No.
They're going to be exposed to what all their peers are exposed to.
Exactly.
And they're not going to get exposed to, you know, stuff like, you know, I was exposed to things like electronica and things like that, and weird music and stuff that they might come and stumble across it, but there's no current.
No.
Yeah, they'd have to find it by accident rather than it appearing in front of them.
Music's music, isn't it? It all comes down to personal taste and all of that, doesn't it? And you know, I'm not saying modern music is bad or anything. You know, it's just I like what I like, and that's my choice. You know. But
I have to say, I did an experiment the other day. I was talking to someone in an online chat, and I was saying how, you know, we're talking about music, and I said, oh yeah, I used to like really be like a Jean-Michel Jarre. I used to be an avid Jean-Michel Jarre listener because I used to love his work. I said, until it got to the end of the 80s, and you know, after Rendezvous, and you had Chronology, and those I said it just dropped off. It became boring to me and really lifeless. And I was looking at something, and I thought, because I haven't listened to anything beyond, I think, Chronology, which was in 1991, I think, Waiting for Cousteau, maybe the year after. And I thought, what's he done since then? Has he got back into his proper vibe, or is he still just kind of rubbish? And I went through all his like albums, studio albums that came after those that I hadn't listened to. And I got them on YouTube where you could listen to the whole album. I thought, right, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to listen to some of these. Oh, dear God. I was like, yep, nothing was ever made after like the early 90s. He stopped making music after that. I was like, just there was nothing in there at all that was any interest to me at all. I was like, wow. I don't know. It's just weird. He had such a distinct musical style that just kind of stopped in the mid-90s and just became kind of bland. It's very strange. So I'm glad I'd stopped listening to him.
TK says, my daughter has been fed a healthy dose of old music. Good girl.
Good. Is the right answer. I think I've done this chat now.
So your daughter's lucky because she's going to have the coolest dad because...
Yeah.
20-2,
by the way, my friend.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Cheers for that.
Dude, I've basically done one dude, so I'm not going to get much more done tonight. Slow and steady win the race. What else can
Happy
I
days.
Bits. I need to give him some bits, don't I? I've got the burps today.
Have you?
Yeah, all right. Burpytron's going on. So I need to give him things and items. Ooh.
All the things.
Many, many items and things. What's in that little container? Container! Ooh. Now that's things for people, not things for horses.
So let's see whether they... Yeah, we do. So let's line them up.
I'll give his horsey the little bits of accoutrement. And that'll do me for tonight.
Go.
Dee-dee-dee. Dee-dee-dee.
Bring you down a tad.
Okay, one of those.
And you can go up a tad. Big days.
And one of those. Unspecified leather container things.
Not an unspecified leather container type thing.
Yeah. Non-specific pouch scenario is going on here.
Yeah, you're a non-specific.
Well, thank you.
This is how it starts. Isn't it?
If I was a pouch, I'd be like an old Holborn pouch.
Old Holborn. Yeah.
I'd smell great, but you wouldn't want to really...
You know, I've just got that smell in my nose now of old Holborn.
That's the funny thing, isn't it? Like with cigarettes and smoking, is the whole thing is horrible apart from the smell of tobacco, which is really nice.
Yeah. My missus used to like it when I used to smoke the pipes because it was that smell of clan, you know, and yeah.
I used to love opening a packet of tobacco, it'd be like Golden Virginia. I was like,
yeah, that initial waft, but
yeah, like opening a pack of cigarettes didn't smell the same, but actual tobacco, you know, like to making roll-ups and stuff, the smell was just like, it's just like a nice, almost edible smell.
I wouldn't say we're frustrated smokers, not at all, but
no,
that's one bit I miss. We reminisce, don't we, over the whole smoking process of the smell of the freshly opened tobacco and things like that. But I certainly couldn't smoke now because
I'd never go back. It's funny when you watch a movie or something and sometimes you think, that looks so delicious.
I watched an old live stream that me and you was doing back in the day, and on our benches, just slightly out of shot, were our ashtrays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't dawn that we used to smoke, you know, but yeah, they was there.
Yeah.
I did giggle.
Yeah. TK says, what is considered, so his daughter's been fed the healthy dose of music, as you said. What is considered classic rock and also 80s, 90s mainstream music plus Maiden, Where I Can.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Good solid education.
I still have all my Maiden tats all up my arm there, the Trooper and that.
Make sure you give her a good dose of electronic music in there as well. Not like dancey crap. I don't mean like dancey club rubbish. I mean proper electronica.
Are we about to get on John Michael Jar again? Because that's better than 6 Rules of Separation, that dude. That's a skill you've developed there.
No, but you know, your proper electronica, your Vangelis and your...
There you go. See, he's good.
Craftwork and stuff. Get some of that in as well.
You are good. I'm impressed with that.
Well, you should always remember the instrumental stuff.
Not my cup of tea, mate. Never really was. But each to their own.
Yeah. Everybody likes different kinds of music.
Yeah.
I really have that strong urge to get myself a synth. Get back into the music making. This last few months it's been such a strong urge. I'll get there eventually.
And you get to say Roland.
Roland! Get me Jupiter X. Little recorder. Maybe next year. It's funny because I never learned to read and write music. I just kind of used to noodle and fettle and put tracks together.
Yes.
And the thing at the minute is I'll sit there and I'll have a brilliant idea for a piece of music and I've got no way to write it down to remember it. So it's just gone into the abyss.
You've got a recording thing on your iPhone where you can just sit there and do the inst bit.
Yeah, I tried that. Unfortunately, it butchers the idea so much that I can never. When I come back the next day, I'm like, I have no idea what I was thinking.
You know, because
yes, that is definitely something I want to do.
You just write it down. Do you write music? You know, sheet music? Can you write?
No, I never learned to read and write it, so I've got no way to notate it. I just have to try and remember the tune comes in my head, but it's always like when I wake up and I have some brilliant like ideas for bits of music when I wake up, but by the time I've got out of bed and made a cup of coffee, it's gone.
Yeah.
Always have the best ideas when you're just woken up, or you're in the shower, or you're on the toilet doing a massive poop or something, and you've got no way to remind yourself.
Normally for me, it's just as I'm beginning to nod off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I always keep a notepad in the drawer next to the bed.
Just as you're not distracted by other things. Do you know, I've discovered the modern equivalent of, you know, like the old people's thing of dropping the part that you can't
Jeff's got to call it a night. Needs some Z's. Catch you later. Take care, Jeff. Take care, Maggie. Sorry to interrupt you there, mate, but I just wanted to acknowledge that he was going, mate, because...
No, it's fine. Yeah, I've discovered the modern equivalent of getting halfway up the stairs and forgetting why you were going up or down.
Oh, right.
The modern equivalent is thinking, ooh, I must look up such and such on the internet while you're in the middle of a website, and then you finish reading what you're reading and you think, right, what was I going to look up?
Yeah.
And at the, you know, you think, I need to look up this, and here, oh, I'm in front of an internet, I can do it now, and then you forget. And then you're like, oh, I needed to find out, oh. Yeah, that's the modern equivalent. I've not been sure why you just walked into the room that you're in. Bill ages ago said, hair today, gone tomorrow.
So we did there, mate.
Max McGinn ages ago said, right, I'm off to bed, guys. Thanks for the show tonight.
Bless
I had fun and good laugh too. Sorry to miss you, mate.
Sorry, Max. I missed you there, mate.
Yeah, we got carried away. Teeks also mentioned another throwback from the 80s, tie-dye. Oh, dear Lord.
Tie-dye, yeah.
Yeah.
Bleaching jeans.
Bleaching jeans. Sitting in the bath with either jeans to make them a tighter fit, or
Levi 501s, yeah.
Yeah. Or your brand new pair of Docs.
Yeah, I used to always what's his name? Sit in the bath with me Doc Martens on.
Yep.
My bub used to say, there's something wrong with you, son. Well, there is really something wrong with you. I went, Bub, your boots become like a second skin, love.
Yep. I'll tell you what, like a shame thing from when I was a young lad in the sort of 90s was, I used to have, like, some of my friends I'd hang around with, a lot of them were into all the kind of like tree-hugging, crystal, homeopathic crap type stuff. And I look back at it now and think, God, I was so stupid to think that was even a real thing.
I can always remember during my punk rock stage, I had a pair of tartan brothel creepers.
Oh, man.
They got a bit wet, so when I went upstairs to have a shit shave and a shampoo, so to speak,
yep,
my mum decided to put me brothel creepers on a baking tray in the oven. And they come out shaped like a pair of bananas like that. It's like... Mum, I had to explain to her how much they cost me at Carnaby Street. She's like...
Oh, God, Carnaby Street. Oh,
yeah.
Dear Lord.
I was like, really?
You've just wasted... It. That's a month's pay, love. You just...
They used to match my bondage trousers perfectly. Do you remember them, the tartan bondage trousers with all the leather straps hanging off of them? And yeah. But on a Saturday, my mum used to sit there ironing my hair for me, me mohawk, because I used to put my hair up on a Saturday. And she used to sit there with the old tea towel over it with the ironing. Cheers, Mum.
God, I've just remembered at one point I had a boiler suit.
Yeah, Edward Leonard's in Squishy Alert.
Hang on. Give me a sec. I don't know why I had a boiler suit. I had a boiler suit.
Yeah.
I wore it like I think 3 times before I got really hacked off with having to take the whole thing off every time I wanted to go for a wee.
Yeah.
Hey, Edward.
But it's funny, you used to all try and be all sort of boyish as punk rockers, you know, yeah, God blimey, all of that lot. But we all had our mums ironing our hair to put it up for us at the weekend.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
That's the thing I've always liked about punk rockers is they're all the hard man thing, but they spend more time doing their hair than any other kind of other style of person.
Yeah. My mum used to be quite fascinated by it, to be quite honest with you. She was a bit shocked at first. Yeah. But she knew, like, you know, it was a fad thing, wasn't it? Let's be honest. But
it's like punk rockers were literally the only social group that they literally had to do their hair before they went out in the morning because they could not go out with 6 foot long pink hair hanging down the side of their head.
Yeah, I mean, you used to pin it back during the week because, work, wouldn't it? I was on the building back then, so it didn't really matter that you didn't wear your hair up because of hard hats. So I just used to weave it across the top of me canister and then just plait it at the back and wear it tight all week and then let it loose at the weekend. But it evolved then into being basically just a jet black.
He'd walk out work on a Friday, release the hair.
Yeah, but
Gone.
I would say for at least probably a summer and a winter, it was full-blown punk mohawk, and then went back more into my mainstream metalhead stage. And
I used to know a load of punks, and they were like just the nicest guys. I've said it before, I think. We used to go to a specific pub in Manchester whose name I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I can tell you where it was, I can't remember what it was called. And first went in there and it was like, oh, it's full of punks and they all look really scary.
Yeah.
But then we actually got to know them.
Yeah.
And they are just like the softest lads.
Yeah.
The sweetest lads. They were so nice. Even though they got like a half a broken snooker clue in a special pocket in their denim jacket. Just in case. But they're such gentle guys, such lovely fellas. They're like, oh, you're really nice. They were like, oh, how you doing, mate? Oh. Got a bad rep, undeserved bad rep.
One of the most judged set of people there is, isn't there? But like I say, there's good and bad in every culture, don't get me wrong. There are, how can we say, some that aren't the greatest, but...
Yeah, but when it's a counterculture, then the culture will try and portray it.
Yeah, it's a classic minority wreck it for the majority situation, isn't it, at times?
Yeah. If it's a disestablishment culture, then the establishment will always try and paint them.
Of course they will.
As bad guys. But yeah, they were the softest guy. And I said to her, you know what, I'd much rather, if I was to walk into a pub now with a load of punks, I'd feel much safer than a pub full of chavvy blokes.
Yeah.
This is in the 90s, it was all Manchester stuff, but...
Yeah.
I said I feel much safer in a pub full of you guys than a pub full of chavvy blokes drinking their lager.
Well, yeah, because they're all that bloke that's just smelt a wet beer mat and thinks he's Rambo. It's like, they turn into Chuck Norris, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's like, going to take the world on. And then it's like, look at that. He's out. He's sleeping like a baby, bless him. Because someone's just given him a straightener and it's like, oh, bless. They start out being so tough, so young, don't they?
Yep.
Ross Medlock's in, says good morning, glow sniffers. Hello, Ross. I hope you're doing well.
Right, I finished one horsey. He is now horsey
days.
complete. With the delicious horsey paws, as you can see there. Nah, I don't like them, do you?
I'm not looking at them, mate, because I knew that's what you was going to do.
Yeah, so that's one horsey done. So I've got three complete dudes now. Well, we've got 5 minutes.
So proud of you,
I won't start another one. I'll keep an eye on the chat for 5 minutes.
I'm just gluing this together and then that's it. I shall be...
PJ says, was the pub called the Tom Sawyer? No, it was a pub called... I can't remember what it was called, but it was opposite A1 Music on Deansgate.
Yeah.
Deansgate was at Oxford Road. I mean, it's been 30 years.
Yeah.
If you know where A1 Music was, it was there was a main road.
Will, because he's not far from you, mate.
Yeah, there's like a main road. I think there was the Palace Theatre and stuff. Main road, and then there was A1 Music was here, and there's a little sort of gravelly road, and I think it was under some arches. There was like an old train arch or something.
Underneath the arches.
It was opposite. A1 Music was opposite, not the Palace Theatre, but there was another building. It's been so long now, I've forgotten what the buildings were. But it was basically across a little cobbled street from A1 Music, if you knew where A1 Music was.
I've been up that neck of the woods for donkey's years, Manchester.
I was trying to remember the name of it, but I was getting names from some other pubs in a different area that were confusing me.
Yeah.
Not the Blue Oyster, no. Not the Blue Oyster.
Good old Edward. Bow, 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 bow.
Literally, if you came off... It was a couple of doors down from the corner house. And then there was on a little path that went up, a little gravelly path. I think the path went up to the train station, the back of the train station. I think. It's been 30 years. 25.
It's been 30 years, man.
I remember when that was all fields.
30 years, man and boy.
Man and boy, get me spoons. Excuse me. So I finished 3 horses in total now.
Oh, I'm so proud of you, soldier.
I've only got 8 to do.
Happy days.
So next week we'll get 1 more done. Another 8 weeks to go. Did you convince your windscreen area to fit?
Yeah, it's still complying.
Oh, yes, it's got the tool of complyingness. Jolly good.
So, yeah, loads of extra fin up the front of the pillar there just to warm it.
Yeah.
It'll conform. And then,
you will comply.
Yeah. It's one of them, innit? Just a persuasion fit, mate. We all get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it certainly didn't warrant getting a hairdryer out. It's like, it's fit enough to be, how can we say, persuasion fitted.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like when it's a resin kit, you can just blang the hairdryer on it, no problem. But when it's
resin's dirt easy, mate, to do that to. And then obviously we've done a bit on the chassis.
I'm not listening.
Chassis.
Not listening.
I'll give you horse claws. Chassis.
La 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 la. I've got my finger in the other ear. Damn it! I put my finger in the wrong ear.
So there you go, folks.
Pretty cool, that.
So yeah, that's another frolic all done and dusted for you. As usual, big hugly thank yous and all of that lot for all of you that come in and keep us 2 idiots company. We really do enjoy just sitting here shooting the breeze with you all. Hopefully you all have a really good rest of the weekend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
That's a very small list.
And we look forward to seeing you on the next one, folks.
Yes.
So, have a good weekend. Thanks for coming in, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little